So yeah, we're going to be focusing on balance, but there's more to balance than just standing on one leg, albeit we will be doing a little bit of balance, but more of that to come. So let's find our way onto our mats this morning. And I'll just start with a little quote, because I know that a lot of you, like me, have been finding our yoga practice really helpful during this strange period of lockdown. And I found this lovely quote by a yoga teacher called Donna Farhi. She writes beautiful poems and kind of sayings about yoga. But this one really kind of resonated with me. She said, practicing yoga does not eliminate life's challenges, and neither does it provide us with a convenient trapdoor to escape from life's distractions. Instead, yoga gives us the skills to meet life head on with dignity and poise. Well, I'm not so sure about the dignity and poise, but I think it does give us that ability to meet life's challenges. And goodness knows, it's been more than our fair share of challenges this year, with that sense of hopefully a little bit more equilibrium. So that's what we'll try and tap into during our practice today, that sense of balance, that sense of poise. I can't guarantee I'm not going to wibble wobble. I'll see how poised I am on this Friday morning. So let's go ahead and get started on a nice balance-based flow today, remembering there's more to balance than just standing on one leg. So let's explore balance in all of its facets today. As we bring ourselves down onto the mat, you might want to give your knees a little squeeze. My lower back's a bit tight today, so I'm just going to give my knees a little bit of a hug and a rock, maybe a little circle, so feel free to join me. Before we bring our feet down to the floor, so take your time to get yourself comfortable. And I'm just going to walk my feet a little bit wider apart, and my inner knees are going to just rest against each other. So I've made an inverted V shape with my legs. And just allow the arms to drop down alongside you. And I always take a moment there to I feel the need to kind of wiggle and jiggle a little bit, maybe pick up your head and draw your chin down towards your chest a little bit. You might want to gently arch your upper back so you can just snuggle the shoulder blades towards one another. So it's kind of a fidget time before we settle the body into stillness. I'm just going to sit up, guys, and let someone else in, but you take your time to get nice and comfortable. So welcome if you just joined us. We're just lying down with our feet on the floor and our knees pointing up towards the ceiling. Focusing on balance this morning. So the position that we're in, lying on our backs with our feet on the floor and our knees gently resting against each other, it's a wonderful name. It's called effortless rest. Effortless rest. So let's see if we can make that as effortless as we can. I'm just going to stay seated for a moment just to let anyone else in, but getting yourself comfortable, lying down on your backs now, closing the eyes very gently. And saying goodbye to whatever distractions or challenges you might have faced this week. All of those things that can sometimes interfere with our practice, just gently putting them to one side for the next hour. And beginning to draw your awareness now just to the flow of your natural breath in and out of your body this morning. And just observing where you can feel the breath in your body this morning, which parts of your body are being moved by the breath. You might be feeling it more in your chest, you might be feeling it more in your belly. And then see if you can, over the next few breaths, begin to balance that out so you feel the breath equally both in your chest and your belly. Some of us are chest breathers, some of us are belly breathers. So see if you can find a little bit of balance with the breath. And then as you feel the breath balancing itself out, your chest and your belly, see if you can bring a bit of balance now to the inhale and the exhale. Each breath now becoming a little bit more equal in length and in depth and in quality. Sometimes again, we perhaps expend a bit more energy on one part of our breath, and both are equally important. The inhale to energize and invigorate, and the exhale to release and relax. So we need both components equally. So with the breath being balanced, just bring your awareness now to the weight of your body on the floor. And it's the very back of your head centrally placed on the mat there. It's the weight even between the left and the right shoulder blade. And coming lower down the spine between the right and the left side of your pelvis there. And even between the left and the right foot resting on the floor. So you can feel the whole body feels supported, grounded, and balanced before we've even begun our practice this morning. That sense of equilibrium. So we'll start using the support of the floor to just bring us into that deeper connection of maybe some imbalances that we've all got within the body. So we'll gently turn the palms down towards the floor and reach both arms all the way up and back above the head. And some of you might notice that the upper back, maybe the chest and the shoulders feel a little tight today, in which case take the arms out in a nice wide V shape. Soften the shoulders, allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears, lengthen the fingertips back behind you. Take one more nice deep inhale there. And as you exhale, gently float the arms all the way back down alongside you. We're going to pick up that movement with the breath. So as you inhale, just float the arms all the way up and back. And as you exhale, simply lower the hands all the way back down alongside you. Really simple move to start with. So we'll carry on with that. But as you do so, just notice if one arm wants to bully the other. And if you can get both arms moving in synchronicity. The palms and the back of the hands reaching the floor simultaneously, and then balancing that movement with the breath. Top of the inhale, the arms lengthen all the way back. Bottom of the exhale, palms touch down alongside you. So a really simple move, but again, a little bit of balance involved. Let's do that a couple more times. So bringing us into that greater awareness of how the shoulders feel, beginning to link the movement with the breath in harmony. Lovely. So the next time that you've got the arms down alongside you, we'll all meet there. Arms lengthening down. And we'll just walk the feet now so they're hip width apart, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. You're going to reach both arms all the way back above the head last time and leave them there this time as we stretch out one leg and then the other. So we're coming to a full body stretch. So lengthen out through the arms, point the toes. You might find a little arching for the back if that feels comfortable. Creating that lovely sense of space and length through both sides of the body. Lovely. And then we'll bring the arms up and over and give both knees a bit of a squeeze. Bring the knees in towards the chest, one hand on the front of each knee, squeezing them down. Option to slide the shoulders away from the ears, lift the head, let the shoulders come into a little ball. So both the lower and the upper parts of the spine getting a little stretch. We'll lower the head, lower the shoulders. Reach the arms back as you extend the legs, coming into that full body stretch out. Pointing the toes, reaching back, take an inhale. Exhale as you scoop the knees in towards the chest, maybe lifting head and shoulders. Nose coming towards knees, shoulders sliding away from ears. So let's do that once more. So inhaling, reaching and lengthening into that full body stretch. Exhaling, knees to chest, maybe lifting head and shoulders, coming into that little ball. Lovely. Then lower the head and the shoulders. And we'll bring the left foot to the floor. Holding on around the back of the right leg, we'll take that right leg up towards the ceiling. Oh, say hello to your hamstring. We'll start to circle off through that right ankle there, just a few circles each way. And just being mindful that it's the ankle that's leading that movement and not your knee. So a few circles each way, just confining that small movement just to that little joint at the ankle. Lovely. And then begin to push the heel away from you, stretching the leg up towards the ceiling. That's lovely, everyone. Pressing the back of the leg against the hands. We're going to come into a little flow here, combining that Arm reach back above the head with a nice one to stretch out through the hamstring. So releasing the arms all the way back above the head as you lower that right leg until the heel just hovers off the floor. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, knee to chest, maybe nose to knee, coming into that little ball. When you're ready to inhale, extend the leg, reach the arms all the way back, heel just hovers. Exhaling, knee to chest. You want to keep your head on the floor, feel free, if not into that little ball, once more like that, inhale. Bringing the knee to the chest, rounding the back as you exhale. Option now as we do that twice more. Inhale to open and extend. And this time as you exhale, knee to chest, and maybe reach both arms up on the diagonal, so you're reaching on either side of the thigh. A little harder work on the core. Inhale, extend and open. Last time to exhale, either reaching the arms up on the diagonal, hugging that knee in. Inhaling, last time, reaching the arms back. And this time, knee to chest, nose to knee, giving that leg a little squeeze. And then lowering the head, lowering the shoulders, bringing that right foot to the floor. And then bringing the left knee in. Let's try that on the left side. So left knee to chest, holding on around the back of the leg. We'll take the leg up. And just notice as you twirl the left foot, maybe this side feels a little tighter. You know, we're not symmetrical beings, as I quite often say, so one side might feel a little tighter. Take the foot round the opposite way. So I'm noticing my knee wants to kind of get involved with that far more on my left side. So really try and bring the movement to the ankle joint. Lovely, and then we'll flex the foot, pulling the toes towards your face, a little bit of opening through the back of the knee. Ready for that little flow. So as you lower the left leg, heel hovers, you reach both arms all the way back above the head. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, knee to chest, maybe picking up head and shoulders. Shoulders slide away from the ears. Lovely. Inhaling, opening and extending. And exhaling, squeezing everything in. Ooh, let's do that once more. And if you've been waking up with Joe this week, oh, it was a beast on Friday. Now we're going to do that twice more. Options to reach as you bring the knee to your chest, the arms on either side of the thighs. You reach the arms up on the diagonal, harder on the core. Lovely. Inhale, reach the arms back, extend the leg. Last time, lengthening the arms up or holding onto the knee. Oh, that's hard, that one. Inhale. So last time, knee to chest, maybe nose to knee. Lower the head, lower the shoulders, and then bring both knees in towards the chest now. Hooking the ankles, widening the knees. Have a little roll around your lower back as you take the knees round in a circle one way. So really trying to find a little path around the back of your pelvis there. And then we'll change the hook of the ankles and just bring the legs round the opposite way. So again, balancing out that movement there. And then holding on around the back of your legs there. You're going to take a couple of rolls up through the leg spine to come to seated. If you don't want to do that today, just roll to one side and we'll meet in a seated position. I'm going to sit cross-legged this morning with right shin in front of left shin. But it really is entirely up to you as to how you place your legs this morning. Lovely. So fingertips finding the floor, and take a moment to find that nice balance across your sit bones and a balance between the front and the back of your pelvis. So if you're kind of naturally slumping back there, you might just want to pick up your bottom, slide your hips back so you're tilting your pelvis forwards, or pop yourself up on a cushion. So fingertips to floor. Let's take a nice inhale as you reach the arms all the way up. Exhaling, hands coming down to the heart, shoulders sliding away from the ears. Twice more. Let's warm up through the shoulders. Finding that length, lifting out of the hips, hands coming down to the heart. Lovely. Got a lovely one for the shoulders now, all the way up. And this time we'll bring the palms together and see if you can just drop the elbows to chest height. See if you can squeeze your forearms towards one another. They might touch, they might not. So a lovely one to bring us into our shoulders now. We're going to take the fingertips up towards the ceiling and then separating the arms, going to draw a big circle, almost like a cactus, all the way down, palms coming together. And again, sliding them forwards and up, bringing the forearms together, inhaling, reaching up. Big circle, exhale all the way down. Lovely. So again, fingertips and forearms touch, gliding them, elbows away from the chest as you reach up. And then coming all the way back down. So again, you might come into a greater awareness of which shoulder maybe feels a little tighter than the other. Pause. Elbows level with the chest. So the elbows are away from your chest. We're going to come back and down the other way. So elbows draw down. So this time we take the arms all the way up into that big circle. Inhale. Exhale. Seeing if you can squeeze your elbows towards one another. Lovely. So a nice big breath in. So we're getting a lovely stretch across the upper back as we draw the elbows down, and then a lovely one to open through the chest as you reach the arms up. Let's do one more. So we're really trying to squeeze everything towards one another, even if it doesn't touch. Lovely, all the way up. Beautiful, and this time we'll drop the hands coming down to the heart, thumbs nestled in towards your breastbone, elbows nice and wide, take an inhale. And as you exhale, take a little twist to the right, keeping the thumbs to your heart. Lovely, inhale through center. Exhale, take that little twist to the left. So trying to keep that balanced across your sit bones. One more each way. So lifting up and out of the hips as you take that little twist. Lovely. Last time to the left. So you're really working those deep postural muscles. Either side of the spine will come all the way back through center. Fingertips finding the floor in front of you now. So I've got right shin in front of left. You might want to walk your bottom back a little ways as you come into a little forward fold now. So pause as you creep the arms forwards. And when you find that your bottom has started to lift from the floor, you might need to pause. I'm going to recalibrate there. Allow the body to settle. And then you might find that you can ease the body down a little further. So some of you might come so far as down onto your forearms. For others of us, you might have the hands closer towards your chest, but try and keep that integrity through the length of the spine. Beautiful. And then we'll walk the hands back towards you, just placing the other leg in front. If you had them crossed, it always feels a bit strange now. So I've got my left in front of right. Hands on the knees this time. Take a nice breath in as you inhale. And as you exhale, take a little twist to the right, keeping the hands on the knees. Yeah. Inhale through center. Exhaling over to the other side. And again, it brings you into that really good awareness of which side feels a little tighter as we do that once more. So you're using the hands just to turn the chest around. You're not going to move very far. And I can certainly feel when I turn to my left, oh, I feel much tighter. Lovely. We'll come all the way back through center. And as you twist to the right this time, we'll release the hands. Left hand comes across to your outer thigh or knee. Other hand settles behind you. Now, this is when we tend to lose that balance across our sit bones and start to slump back. So use that hand behind you like a second spine. It's really snuggled in so you can see I'm literally pressing myself forwards, keeping myself right on top of my sit bones there. Head might be looking over that back shoulder. Lovely. Let's come all the way back round through center. And again, so this time the right hand comes across to your knee or your thigh or even your shin, other hand behind you. And again, can you use that hand behind you to keep you propped forwards and up on your sit bones, drawing that left shoulder back. Some of you might be taking the gaze over that back shoulder. Oh, lovely. Rinsing out through the spine this morning. Lovely. Slowly back through center. Fingertips finding the floor. Again, I always like to shuffle my hips back a little way to give myself some space before I come forward. So as you ease your way forwards, this side you might find feels different to the other side. You might notice it in around the hip or the thigh of the leg that you've got in front. I certainly can on this side more than I could on the other. Again, it just kind of brings us into that greater awareness of where we might be holding those kind of asymmetrical tensions in the body. And then slowly, slowly, we'll find our way back up to seated. Uncross everything. You can give the legs a shake if you want before you find your way onto all fours. Settling your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. So let's just pick up one hand actually and give the wrist a little twirl. So the wrist and the hands, again, they're taking a bit of a battering with us doing our computers. So a little bit of a twirl there and then a shake out through one hand and then really place it down very carefully, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Other side. So a little bit of TLC for the wrists if you're finding yourself stuck at your computer a lot more than usual. A little twirl of the wrist the opposite way. And then again, a little shake out, getting rid of all the tension And then carefully placing the hand down, taking up as much space as you can there, fanning the fingers, finding that lovely long back there as you come into that tabletop. And then balancing out the front and the back of the body with our cat-cow. So as you inhale, the belly drops, heart pulls forwards, keep pressing into your hands. And as you exhale, round on up like an angry cat. So working with your breath now, nice long inhale, pulling the heart forwards, making sure you're not collapsing in the shoulders. And that big exhale, literally squeezing the air out as you bring your belly button up to meet your spine there. So it's such a simple one, but a lovely one to balance out that sense of release and opening through the front and the back of the body. Let's maybe do that once or twice more this morning. And you might find that one movement feels a little bit more comfortable than the other. Certainly is. Gravity, sitting at computers, takes its toll. It's that rounding action that many of us find ourselves stuck in permanently. So perhaps really encourage that sense of putting the heart forwards if, again, you know that you're spending a lot of time in front of the screen these days. We've done far more than 2, I know. Let's do just one more. Lovely. And then we'll find that nice flat back position. So our first little balance, again, we've got the floor to support us. So we're going to slide the right arm forwards, fingertips just on the floor in front of you, and the left leg. So take the left leg back, ball of foot and fingers find the floor, and then we'll lift the leg and the arm, shoulder and hip height, trying to keep that leg through the spine. Try not to drop the gaze, you're looking forwards. Fingertips and ball of foot find the floor. Slide the hand and the knee back in. Other side, so sliding left arm forwards, right leg back, lifting to shoulder and hip height. Think about lengthening laterally across the back. Fingertips and ball of foot touch the floor, and sliding back. We're going to add to the breath. It's going to be a 4-point breath, and try and avoid wobbling from side to side. You've got to really firm up through the belly. So we'll start with the right arm and the left leg. Inhale as you slide arm and leg forwards. Exhale as you lift shoulder and hip height. Inhale, fingertips and toes find the floor. Exhale, sliding them back underneath shoulder and hip. Other side, inhaling, extend. Exhale as you lift and lengthen. Inhale as fingertips and foot find the floor. Exhale as you bring hand and knee back onto the mat. Lovely, just working with the breath now. So as you extend opposite arm and leg, really get the sense of lengthening in opposite directions. And see if you can avoid transferring the weight too much from side to side as you make that transition to lift opposite arm and leg. So I'm going to do one more, lifting right arm and left leg. Inhale to slide arm and leg forwards. Exhale to lift, keeping the gaze forward, spine long, firming up through the belly. Inhale. Fingertips and toes find the floor. Exhale to slide back in. Other side once more. Ooh, so again, you can just notice maybe one side feels stronger than the other. Lovely. So hand and knee back in line now. We'll round the back and just sit back towards your heels. So finding a nice symmetrical pose now in child pose. You might want to partner your knees. Let's walk the arms forwards. And you can just let the palms and the forearms settle and the forehead find the floor. Or if you want a bit more energy this morning, lift up onto your finger pads so your elbows, your forearms are lifted. We press the fingertips forwards and down, sitting your hips towards your heels. We get that lovely sense of length and space through both sides of the waist. Take a couple of nice deep breaths there, balancing out the left and the right side of the body. Also think about balancing the breath into the back of the body. The lungs sit quite far back in our bodies. Beautiful. And then we'll flatten the hands, drawing ourselves back onto all fours. Tuck the toes under and we'll find a downward dog today. If you want to stay on all fours, feel free. So if you're in that downward dog, let's for the first few moments there have a little loosey-goosey downward dog, a little pedal out through the feet, the shape of the head, maybe a little sway of the hips, just keep it quite playful. If you want to stay on all fours and just do a couple of rounds of cat-cow, arching and rounding the back, that's the alternative if downward dog isn't for you today. Oh, and then in that downward dog shape, if you're with me, let's find that lovely deep inverted V shape. So maybe a little softness of the knees, a wiggling of the hips up and back. So your arms are in line with the sides of the body. Lovely. And again, just notice that sense of balance. Pressing evenly through the hands, lengthening the heels back and away from you. And then we'll bring the feet together. So your big toes and your ankles touch. The heels might not touch the floor, that's fine. Trying to keep the weight even through your hands now. As you inhale, we'll float the right leg up and back, turning the toes ever so slightly out to the side. And as you exhale, lower the foot, big toes and ankles brush together. Other side, so trying to keep the weight even through the hands there. Ooh, and lower down. You do that one more with the right leg, all the way up. Little turn out of the toes. And all the way down. Last time with that left leg. So keeping the hips nice and high as you raise the left leg. Beautiful, then lower it down. And then from there, we'll take a walk forwards now. So your feet are coming to meet your hands or hands towards your feet. You can meet in the middle there. Bend your knees generously. You might want to crave your elbows and have that little playful rock side to side. And if a forward fold doesn't work for you today for whatever reason, you can join me here. You can lift your chest and just rest your hands just on your thighs there, so you get a nice stretch out through the back. So choice is yours, either letting the head go and maybe swaying, or lifting your head and your heart and propping yourself up on your thighs there. Beautiful. And then we'll come to stillness if you're having that little playful sway. Releasing the arms in front of you, and then we'll slide the hands up the legs, finding your shins or your thighs. Think about sliding the shoulder blades down and away from your ears, bringing your belly button up towards your spine. So you've got that lovely sense of balance between the front body and the back body in that lovely flat back. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, we'll soften the knees all the way back down. That looked lovely, guys. So as you inhale, coming into that flat back, never being worried about lifting your arms up towards your thighs. I know I always think about keeping my fingertips on the floor, but I can get much more of a long spine when I just support myself higher up my legs. And release. Let's do just once more. So sliding the hands up the legs, so you can really, again, lengthen. Crown of head forwards, tailbone lengthening back. And release. This time we'll soften the knees and roll our way up to stand, avoiding that horrible head rush at the top. So take your time, take your time. Beautiful. Let me just adjust the screen there. So we're going to come into some rounds of sun salutes. We're going to balance out the energy as well. So the yin and the yang. So our yang is our more masculine energy, that more kind of energetic oomph that we need. And then we'll end the practice with a little bit of yin, a little bit of softness. So lots of options. We're going to start with our right leg, and we'll do 2 rounds working on a different variation each time. So with the feet hip width apart, let's just bring the hands together at the heart and just pause there for a moment and maybe a little playful rock back and forth or side to side until you can find that balance across the front and the back of your foot, on the inner and outer edge of the foot. And so many of us, especially when we're moving quickly from thing to thing, we're kind of projecting ourselves slightly forwards. So see if you can find that lovely balance, poise in our mountain pose. Beautiful. So releasing the hands down alongside you, we'll add the breath, work nice and slowly for our first round. So deep knee bend. As you inhale, we'll sweep the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, draw the heart forwards and down as we come down into a forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to this morning. Finding that halfway lift as you inhale, hands sliding up the legs. And as you exhale, we'll plant the hands and take the right leg back, lowering the knee and flattening the foot. As you inhale, let's find a crescent lunge. So pressing into that left foot as you sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, we'll lower the hands. Pick up the back knee, keep the chest forwards. And as you inhale, we'll slide that left leg back into plank. And as you exhale, knees down, chest down, ease your way down to the floor. Flatten the feet, and as you inhale, lift up through the chest, coming into that little cobra. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog as you exhale. And this first round, we'll have a little pedal out through the feet again, maybe a little shake of the head. Just softening the hard edges of that downward facing dog. Lovely, building up a little bit of momentum as we proceed through these sun salutes. So finding that downward dog, we'll ripple the gaze forwards. And as you inhale, walk your feet towards your hands, coming to the top of the mat. And as you exhale, fold down over the legs. Deep knee bend. And as you inhale, sweep the arms all the way out and up. Exhaling, hands coming all the way down to the heart. Lovely. We'll do the left side, working with the breath, releasing the arms. Deep knee bend. And as you inhale, sweep the arms all the way out and up. You might even come to a little baby back bend. And as you exhale, let the heart lead the way as you come all the way down over the legs, softening the knees. Finding that halfway lift as you inhale, heart forwards, tailbone lengthening back. Exhaling, plant the hands and step the left leg back, lowering the knee. Ready for that little lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up, so you're really pressing the floor away. And as you exhale, lower the hands and pick up the back knee. Inhale as you take the right leg back into plank, keep the shoulders above the wrists. Exhale as you lower, you might need to bring your knees down first. Elbows squeezed in. Flatten the feet. Inhale, lift the chest. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward dog as you exhale. And again, when I kind of come to that downward dog from a plank, I feel the need to walk my feet in a step or two so I can really elevate the hips. Easy with the breath. Again, that balanced breath. Looking forwards between your thumbs. As you inhale, walk your feet forwards to the top of the mat. Exhale as you fold. Deep knee bend, rise all the way up. Inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. Right, I'm going to come to the other side of my mat because I'm going to start to mirror you. Again, we're going to work with the right leg stepping back first for a little bit of variation. Keeping the hands to the heart. Let's shift the weight back now into the heels as you find that chair pose. And just be mindful in chair pose that your chest is still firing forwards rather than pointing down towards the floor. So if you find that you're folding forwards a little bit, either just straighten off through the legs a little bit, or just think about tucking the hips under. So find that lovely sense of depth in the legs, but an openness through the chest. Beautiful. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, we'll come into a forward fold, straightening off through the legs. Halfway lift as you inhale. And as you exhale, plant the hands, right leg steps back, knee to floor, so it starts the same. Nice lunge up. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale as you lower the hands, pick up the back knee, inhaling into plank. And as you exhale, lower down, so your knees might kiss the earth first, that's fine, lovely. So we'll come up into a cobra. Option to come up into that cobra, or press into the hands and the tops of the feet and come into an upward facing dog. So you're balanced on the palms of your hands and the tops of your feet, lovely. We'll tuck the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So if upward dog isn't for you, we'll stay in that cobra. Okay, here's our little variation. So taking the weight into your left foot, right leg lifts as you inhale, coming right onto the ball of that left foot. And as you exhale, step or help, right foot forwards, coming to the top of the mat. Beautiful. We're going to spin that back heel in. So toes face the long edge of the mat, lifting the chest. And as you inhale, we'll sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, we'll come into that warrior two. Beautiful. So that front arm, turn the palm forwards. And that back arm is going to reach forwards. And the palms touch. So a little twist through the hips. And then this back arm is going to reach all the way back across the chest as though you're drawing a bow. Take an inhale. Exhale as you sweep that arm forwards. Inhale as you open the chest. Lovely. So strong in the legs. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. We'll keep that lovely warrior two now. Turning the front palm up, reach forwards. And as you inhale, reverse your warrior, reach all the way up and back. And as you exhale, forearm to thigh, top arm up or up and over. Lovely. And once more, so strong in the legs as you reverse that warrior, inhale. And this time as you exhale, tip-top the hands down, framing that front foot. Take a pivot on the back foot. Inhale as you step both feet forwards, top of the mat. Exhale to fold. Keep the knees bent, and as you inhale, lift the chest, sweep the arms forwards, coming into that chair pose. And as you exhale, hands to heart, straightening off through the legs. Gorgeous. So we're going to try that with the left leg, stepping back this time. So hands to heart, take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's sink the weight back, finding that chair pose, pause, take a little peep at the knees, making sure they're not rolled in or out. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, take a forward fold all the way down. Lifting up halfway as you inhale. And as you exhale, left leg steps back, bringing the knee down. Finding that crescent lunge as you inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, lower the hands, pick up that back knee, ready for that little plank as you inhale. So keep the shoulders above the wrists, head before your hands as you exhale to lower. So inhale into that cobra or upward dog, squeezing the bottom, lifting the front body from the floor. And as you exhale, lifting the hips high into that downward dog. So we're going to shift the weight into the right foot this time. Left leg lifting as you inhale, coming right onto the ball of that right foot. Exhale, step or help left foot forward. It's going to spin that back heel in, lifting the chest, and then wiggle the arms all the way up into that warrior two. Woo! Beautiful. So we turn the left palm to face in, and this right arm, we sweep it forward so the palms brush together, and then draw that arm back, rather like drawing a bow. Take an inhale. Exhale, so we take a little twist through the hips. The legs are nice and steady, and then inhale, we draw the arm back. You can look over that back arm if you want, once more. Lovely. So the right arm is moving. Beautiful. So we'll pause in that warrior two, taking the gaze forwards as you turn the left arm up, reach forwards. And as you inhale, let's arc that top arm all the way up and back. Exhaling, forearm to thigh, top arm up, or up and over. Lovely. So last one, we reverse our warriors. That front arm reaches all the way up and back. This time as you exhale, look down and tick-tock the hands down, frame that front foot. As you inhale, we'll spring the feet together, coming to the top of the mat. Exhale to fold over the legs. Deep knee bend, and as you inhale, sweep the arms forwards, coming into chair pose. Straightening the legs, hands to heart. Exhale, beautiful. Pause there for a moment. Maybe close the eyes, bring that balance back into your breath. Lovely. So I said it was all about balance. So we're going to do a little bit of balance now, guys. So if you do need to just use a little bit of support, you might want to just bring your left hand to rest against a piece of furniture or onto a chair. I'll start sideways on so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to bring the feet together and then step your right leg back, bringing the big toe to touch the heel of that left foot. So it's like you're on a tightrope. Ooh, it's already wibbly wobbly. So again, if you need to use your left hand to support you, that's fine. And just pause for a moment. And again, just make sure you're not leaning into that back foot or into the left foot, which is in front. So find the balance between the feet and we'll bring the hands to the heart. So I've got the right foot tucked behind the left foot, big toe touching heel. I'm going to take the arms forwards, palms together, just as we did in our warrior two. That right arm is going to reach all the way back across the chest. You might even turn and look over that back arm. It's like one of those little Egyptians. Lovely. So come all the way back through center, raising the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And then bringing the hands all the way down to the heart. So inhaling, arrow the arms forwards. Exhaling, right arm reaches all the way back, taking that little twist. Inhale as you reach the arms up, bringing the chest to center. Exhaling, hands coming to heart. Let's do that twice more. So you're really trying to keep the focus, keep the balance. You might feel a little work through that back foot, getting that lovely rotation. You might look over that back arm for a little bit of extra balance challenge. Up with the arms, square through the chest, hands to heart. Lovely. So we're going to do this the last time. So arms arrow forwards, inhale. Exhaling, reaching that right arm back, maybe looking over that back thumb. Inhale as you reach the arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart with a face forwards. Beautiful. So bringing the hands to the hips, that right foot, you're going to tuck behind your left foot. If that doesn't work, keep the feet hip width apart. So right foot tucking behind left foot. Left hand comes to hip. Now soften that left knee and sweep the right arm up and over, pushing the hips gently out to the right. So that front knee has a little bit of softness in it. Lovely. Final balance challenge. Arms reach out, level with the shoulders. Shift the weight into that left foot and see if you can bring that right knee out to the side, catching it just on the front of the knee, lifting up, reaching out with that left arm. Beautiful, guys. And then see if we can find a tree pose with that right foot. So you might bring it above the knee, sole of foot nestled into inner thigh as you bring the hands to the heart. You can bring the foot down to the floor for a little bit of extra support. Squeezing that right knee out to the right. As you inhale, let's take the arms slowly up. And as you exhale, circle the hands all the way down to the heart. Lovely, just once more, so smooth with the breath. Inhale. And exhale, lovely. We'll keep the hands to the heart. Now, option to stay there in that tree pose just for a couple more breaths. Or bring that right ankle to rest just above left knee. Flexing the foot, squeezing the knee out to the side. Keep the chest open as you bend that left knee. Oh, a little bit of wibble wobbles. Wibbly wobbles. Beautiful. Are we there? Lovely. And then we'll straighten the leg, take the arms up, bring the knee to the chest. And lower the foot, lower the arms. Ooh, have a little pad out through the feet. Oh, you might be feeling a little warm now. So our little tightrope with the left leg. Do you like this one? It's a good one, isn't it? So we're going to step the left foot behind the right foot now. So my big toe is touching my heel. If you want a little bit of support, right hand might be resting against a chair or on a piece of furniture. And this side already for me feels wibbly wobbly. Again, make sure you're not leaning forwards or back. Weight even through the feet, hands to heart. So we'll arrow the arms forwards, palms together. Left arm this time slides across the chest. You might turn the gaze over that back arm. Ooh, I feel wibbly wobbly. Turn the chest, reach the arms all the way up. And then hands come down to the heart. Are you ready to add the breath? So inhale, arrow the arms forwards. Exhale, left arm reaches back. Turning the chest, reaching the arms up as you inhale. Hands together at the heart, exhale. Let's do that twice more. So really trying to keep the weight even through the feet. And again, if you gently turn the gaze over that back arm, you're adding that little bit of balance challenge. So if that doesn't work for you, keep the gaze forward, smoothly back to center. So we're getting a nice rotation through the upper back as well. Should we do that once more? The good thing about balance is it does get worse as we get older, sadly, but it can improve. We need to do a little bit of practice with it. Slowly come back to center. Hands coming to heart. I'm going to turn around to face you now. So this time, as you bring your hands to your hips, left foot just tucks in behind your right foot. If you don't like that, keep the feet hip width apart. So left foot behind right foot. It's about an inch or so between my little toes. I'm going to bend that supporting knee. Right hand to hip. Left arm reaches up and over. So you're just bending that supporting knee as you gently push the hips over. That's gorgeous, guys. Lots of lovely stretch in the hip. Are you ready for that little balance challenge? So we come back to center and reach the arms out. Shift the weight into your right foot and see if you can, with grace and poise, remember that quote from the beginning, bring the left knee out to the left, catching hold of the knee. Think about lifting up through the crown of the head. Beautiful. Sole of foot finds tree pose now. So you might bring it above the knee and bring the hands to the heart. If you need to use the floor for support, feel free. You're ready for that beautiful steadying breath. Inhale as you take the arms up. Exhale as you swim the hands all the way back down to the heart. I know you lose my arms when I raise them up. They're still there, I promise. Inhale. Beautiful, slow release. Exhale, you might find it more wibbly wobbly on this side, so hands to heart, pause. Option to stay in that beautiful balance of tree, or carefully bring the left ankle above that right knee. So you're just resting on the thigh, not the knee. Keep the heart open, chest lifts as you bend that right knee. Keeping the left knee squeezed out, it's called flying pigeon. Slowly, slowly we'll straighten the leg, bring the knee to the chest, and then bring the foot to the floor. Oh, fantastic, guys. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. And then hip width apart this time, hands to heart. Beautiful. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's sink back into chair pose. So the weight is dropping back into the heels now. Beautiful. And then we'll straighten the legs. Arrow the arms up. And as you reach up towards the ceiling, see if you can lift onto the balls of the feet without the ankles kind of doing anything silly and rolling out to the side. Beautiful. Lower the heels with resistance as you bring the hands down to the heart. Back into chair pose. So chest stays open, knees are facing forwards and parallel. Lovely. Inhale as you reach on up, rising onto the balls of the feet. This time as you exhale and come into chair pose, if you want to add a little bit of weight, you can keep the arms lifted, otherwise bring the hands back to the heart. Lovely. Inhaling, rising up. Again, balanced on the balls of the feet. Lovely. Let's do that just once more. So lower the heels with the resistance. Exhaling to that chair pose. So you can always bring the hands back to the heart. Lovely. And then last time as you inhale, rising up. See if you can lift onto the balls of the feet. Lovely. See if you can keep the heels lifted now as you bend the knees. And can you lower, 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 all the way down. When you get a bit stuck, just come into a forward fold. Can you come all the way down until you're sitting on your heels? Beautiful. Hands coming down to heart. So you're just sitting on your heels. If not, come into a forward fold. We'll meet you there. If you're with me, take an inhale. And as you exhale, can you take a little twist to the right, keeping the hands to the heart and the knees pointing forwards. Inhale to center. Exhale, take that little twist to the left, keep the knees pointing forwards. Come all the way back through center. Fingertips finding the floor. Let's lift the hips. Woo, into that little forward fold. That was a cheeky balance to throw at you, wasn't it? It's lovely. And then from that forward fold, let's step one leg back and then the other into a downward facing dog. You might need to move on your mat, that's okay. Separate your feet now, a little wider than hip width apart. Drop down onto hands and knees so the knees are nice and wide. Big toes point towards one another. Let's sit back into a lovely hare pose or wide leg child pose. You can reach both arms out evenly in front of you, or I'm going to bend one arm and then the other, making a little platform for my head. Forehead rests on hands, upper back gets a nice chance to release. Easy with the breath there. Beautiful, guys, well done. Oh, that's some challenges there this morning. Coming back to that lovely balanced breath. It's called Samaspriti breath in yoga, that balance between the inhale and the exhale. And so you're breathing around the edges of a square. Lovely. And then we'll just lift up through the chest. Pop the knees together so you can drop the bottom to one side. Swish the legs out in front of you. Let's do one more cheeky balance because it's Sunday. I know everyone loves a boat pose. So let's hold on under. Oh dear, good job I didn't hear that. Good job everyone's on mute. Let's hold underneath the knees. So we do have to rock back a little bit to get some momentum to then lift those heavy levers of the legs off the floor. So see if you can bring your shins parallel, but then see if you can lift up through the chest. Ooh, no, you might just want to stay here. So just pause on your sit bones. Some of you might want to reach the arms out with the palms up. Stay with the breath. Some of you might even want to straighten the legs this morning. Oh, keep lifting up through the chest, and there's a beautiful thread pulling you up. Oh, feet to floor, hands cup the knees, and round the back. Oh, I felt really wibbly wobbly on that one. I blame having a bony bottom. It's not that my balance is shot, it's just my body bottom. Let's sit up nice and tall. Stretch the legs out in front of you, just making sure you've got enough space behind you. So heels towards the top of the mat, arms lengthened out in front of you, chin drops to chest, and see if you can roll your way back down now. That lovely sense of balance, each vertebrae touching down one at a time, one at a time. And then when your head and shoulders touch down, reach the arms back behind you so we're back in that full body stretch. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely. And then we'll just bring the arms out, level with the shoulders. Lengthen the arms apart as you walk your feet back towards you. And again, just as we did at the beginning, the feet are wider apart than your hips. Knees point up towards the ceiling this time. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, drop the knees over to the right, relaxing your right buttock, and maybe allowing your chin to roll down towards your left shoulder. Now, this is when we tend to lose that balance across the upper back, and for many of us, keeping both shoulder blades equally weighted on the floor when we're in a twist is really tricky. So if you find that that left shoulder blade begins to lift a little bit, don't worry too much about it, but see if you can just sense a heaviness around that left shoulder blade. So we're trying to keep the chest as flush to the ceiling as we can. Easy with the breath, so we can really breathe into that lovely sense of rotation through the spine. So our upper back is our anchor point here. We'll bring the head back to center. Point both knees up towards the ceiling, and then we'll allow the knees to tip to the left. So this time it's the left buttock we want to try and relax. And this time it's that right shoulder blade we want to try and kind of get again, that sense of heaviness. So knees dropping to the left, right shoulder blade anchoring us down, chin maybe has rolled almost of its own accord down towards your right shoulder. Let's just move with the breath. So as you inhale, you bring the knees back to center. And as you exhale, drop the knees to the right, maybe gazing over your left arm. Inhale through center. Exhaling, change direction with the legs. So just have a lovely sense of rolling across the back of your pelvis there as you allow the legs to gently tick-tock from side to side. And I like to pick up my feet, so I'm just literally rolling across my heels there. And I really like that, just to add a little bit, but that doesn't work for you. Just keep the feet as they are. I'm going to do one more, tipping my knees over to the left. And then when I come back to center from the left side, I'm going to pause. Walk the feet now, hip width apart, and snuggle your heels quite tight in towards your buttocks there. So arms coming down alongside us now. So it's almost you're reaching to try and touch your heels. Some of you with really long arms might be able to do that. So we're coming into a balance of sorts now as we come into a shoulder bridge. So as you press into your feet and begin to lift the hips, again, keep the balance across all four edges of your feet now. Inner and outer heels, inside and outside edge at the front of your foot. So you're really pressing into the base of the big toe. You might need to slide your head a little further up the mat. Some of you might be able to draw one shoulder blade and then the other closer towards each other, tucking them underneath you so you can interlace your hands. And now there's a balance of energy. As you press your hands down, you lift the hips up, squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. You might even take a little peek down the front of your body and check that the pelvis isn't tipped to one side or the other. Lovely, easy with the breath. It's a little bit difficult to talk here. And then if you can, you might want to lift your heels, you're balanced on the balls of the feet, lifting the hips a little higher so you can release the arms. And let the arms act as stabilizers now. You might want to keep the heels lifted as you ripple, ripple, ripple down. Again, each vertebrae very tenderly touching down, one at a time. Lovely. And when the tailbone touches down, you allow your heels to drop. If you want to do anything else, if you need a deeper twist, if you want to find that full body stretch, feel free to do so. And then just see if you can find, again, a comfortable, balanced position for a few moments of relaxation now. So after the yang, after the movement, we have that little bit of yin, that softness, that quietness. So again, I'm just going to walk my feet wide and allow my inner knees to support one another. You might place a hand on your chest and your belly. You might have the arms gently relaxed down alongside you with the palms up towards the ceiling. So whatever position you have adopted, see again if you can find that sense of balance, whether you're in that wonderfully named effortless rest with your feet on the floor and your knees gently propping each other up, or whether you're lying down. Take a moment to get the fidgets out of the way again, the kind of settling yourself down until the body feels comfortable. If there's any discomfort, it's a bit like an itch or having a wobbly tooth. All of your attention and awareness is on that part of your body, so we're never able to fully switch off. And remembering that lovely quote I said at the beginning, that practicing yoga does not eliminate life's challenges, and neither does it provide us with a convenient trapdoor to escape from life's distractions. Instead, yoga gives us the skills to meet life head on with dignity and poise. And so when life's distractions and challenges threaten to disrupt this perhaps most challenging part of the practice, when the body is still, the mind is left to its own devices, this is when we can use our yoga again just to meet those distractions head on, acknowledging that dialogue that might be going on in our mind. And then bringing our awareness back to that ebb and flow of our breath. And again, just noticing parts of the body which are moving and being moved by the breath. And seeing again if you can bring the weight evenly into your chest and your belly. And then again, bring your awareness to the inhale and the exhale, remembering that we need both. Inhale and the exhale of a similar length, depth and quality as the one before and the one which follows. Inhale, giving us the energy, the invigoration to help us meet life's challenges. And the exhale, helping us to release and relax. And maintaining that balance of your breath now. And just bringing your awareness to the weight of your body on the floor. Very middle of the back of your head. Resting easily on the mat. Shoulders sliding down away from your ears. An evenness of weight between your left and your right shoulder blade. And as the upper back begins to release into the floor, we feel that corresponding openness through the chest, allowing us to receive and release the breath a little bit more fully each time. Evenness between the right and the left side of our pelvis. Opening up gently across the front of the hips. And many of us can hold and store a lot of tension, physical and emotional. If your feet are on the floor and the knees notched together, feeling that evenness of weight between the left and the right foot, connection with the earth beneath us. So the whole body now feels supported by the floor, feels grounded and connected to the earth beneath you. And knowing that you can stay there for as long as you wish. Just want to continue on your own, just having a few moments to lie down and then just finish the practice when you wish. But if you're ready to face the rest of the day, hopefully ready to meet life for the rest of the week, head on with that dignity and poise. To remind myself of that. Have a little wiggle out through your fingers and your toes, maybe a little roll across the back of your head. And pay a little bit more energy and heat to that inhale now, that part of the breath that helps to reinvigorate and energize us, giving us what we need for the week to come. You might want to expand back into that full body stretch, stretching out both legs, reaching back with the arms equally, finding that lovely sense of space to reach back and lengthen forwards and breathe into the space above you. And then very gently lower the arms, walk your heels back in towards you, and then bring your knees in towards your chest. You can bring your forehead up towards your knees if that feels good. It's that tight, tight little ball. Before you gently lower your feet, your head and your shoulders, and just roll onto one side, right or left side, it really doesn't matter. And then find a comfortable seated position when you're ready. And take a moment there to notice the relationship with your sit bones on the floor. So again, you're sitting evenly between the right and the left side and the front and the back of your pelvis. And from that lovely balanced sitting position, we can lengthen the spine up, broadening the collarbones, allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Bringing the hands together at the heart. And I'm reminded of something a friend of mine said that her grandfather used to say to her when it came to balance and moderation. And he said, there should be moderation in all things, including moderation itself. So on that note, namaste. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. So those 5 chocolate chip cookies I ate last night after making them, there was certainly no moderation in that, was there? Thank you for coming.